Hi baby stars, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Runzi. I'm just a girl on the internet who loves talking about topics that I am passionate about. I sort of changed my introduction because I realized that I don't want to limit myself just to topics about mental health, beauty, or spirituality. I can't really pronounce today, forgive me. Spirituality related topics. I want to talk about anything and everything that I'm interested in. So I figured that why not just change my introduction? But that's not the whole point. Before I get started, I want to show you my outfit for today. I love this outfit so much. Today I am wearing Hanfu, Chinese traditional outfit with this hairpin that is really pretty. I wore this on my previous video. And this is my outfit. This is a manhwa, which is a traditional Chinese skirt, and I'm gonna show you how this blouse looks like behind. It's really pretty. Just look at how beautiful this looks. Let me stand a little bit further from the camera. Look at how pretty this outfit is. Oh, I feel like I belong to a costume period drama right now. I really have fun dressing up, and it is one of the things that brings a lot of joy to my life. So I don't think I will ever stop playing around with fashion as time goes on, even when I'm an old lady. Today I am just really excited to be sharing about certain topics that I am very interested in, as you can see from my facial expression. I mean, you already saw my title. You probably already know what I'm gonna be talking about today, which is BL. I don't want to get too deep into the whole debate on whether it's politically right. I feel like those type of deep discussions are best left to people who are passionate about debating, because to be honest, I'm not. I am just a girl on the internet who shares my personal take on things. We have to practice critical thinking on our own, and we have to make judgment based on our own values. And I think it's really pointless to constantly be debating about things like that, because everyone is just so different and everyone likes different things, right? So I'm gonna leave that for other YouTubers who likes to discuss about things like that. I just want to have a more positive and chill kind of environment on my channel. I'm not glorifying any type of toxic relationship in this video. I'm just gonna put a disclaimer out there. I'm just going to be sharing my opinions from a creative perspective. To be honest, art is very subjective. Yes, some of them can be really problematic. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably know some of my artworks are very questionable. We cannot deny that no matter how nice of a person you are, everybody has pretty messed up thinking sometimes. And I think authors and artists just simply allow their creative thinking flow onto pen and paper, so you can see all of the dark thoughts that reflect in their mind, but they made it into a piece of art. So I don't think they're actually condoning or glorifying things like that in real life. It's simply a fictional work. Personally, I think when we strive to be politically right all the time, especially when it comes to art and writings, it definitely restricts a lot of creative individuals from releasing their creative works to share with people from the whole world. And I feel like this world will be very bleak or black and white. For example, in certain countries, certain medias are banned. So just think about it, right? They're just art. I don't think it ruins a person by just consuming certain things, especially if you can think critically instead of trying to bring toxicity to people in real life or to force your ideas onto others, right? But of course, that's a whole other debate for some other people who like to discuss about things like that. Also, if you want to look deeper into the whole psychology of why women like BL, why women read guy on guy action, there's a ton of research done on the internet. You can definitely look that up on Google or YouTube. I'm pretty sure people have discussed about topics like that. In today's video, let's just talk about very shallow surface level things. Let's talk about our main topic, which is BL. Should I be embarrassed to admit that I am a fujoshi, I am a funu, I like to read BL? At this point of my life, I am definitely not embarrassed to admit that I like to read BL. I'm constantly evolving. I might be embarrassed about the things that I say right now When I watch back my previous videos, sometimes I think certain things that I say are sort of questionable. You know, this is why you shouldn't solely base your opinions on some random person on the internet, because we constantly contradict ourselves based on what we have gone through in life. So practice critical thinking. I first got introduced to BL at the young age of 13. I know it's really, really young, and I am pretty sure there are people out there who starts reading BL at an even younger age, which is sort of problematic. Personally, that doesn't do any psychological damage on me. I can definitely split between real life and fictional works. And I think the reason why I got hooked onto BL manga when I was that young is because I feel like BL mangaka puts a lot of attention on detail for their characters. If you read BL, you probably know what I'm talking about. They make all of the characters look so beautiful. Their drawings are just on a whole other level. I think that's the reason why I started reading BL. It's not because of the romance element, it's not because of the corn. In fact, I think back then I don't even care much about the corn. I just like to look at pretty people. So I feel like the drawings are so beautiful, and I just started reading BL. And I got introduced to BL by my classmate. Honestly, I have no idea how we even get away with it. Back in my days, I sound like an old woman, but really, back in my days, we don't really read manga online. Like nowadays, you can read a lot of scans online. Back in my time, most of the time, we have to read mangas on physical copies, so you have to pretty much rent them from shops, or you have to buy the physical copies. And usually we buy the Taiwanese translated version because they are so cheap. They only cost about 5 ringgit, which is I think about $1, less than $1. It's super duper cheap, right? So we can sort of hoard all of this manga and just read them after school. We have to be very careful though, because in school, teachers will usually have this spot check. They will check our bags to make sure that we don't bring anything prohibited, like cell phones or manga, especially 爱情小说, romance novels. They will confiscate all of these things, speaking about Asian schools. And I remember at that time, I was really intrigued by BL manga, and my friend told me that she has this whole stash at home. I don't even know how she managed to get away with it. I'm not sure how her mom haven't noticed the questionable covers of the mangas that she collects in her room. She has like a huge shelf of it, right? So I went to her house just to borrow all of this manga back home. And to be honest, my parents are very, very, very strict, especially when I was younger. Now they are pretty much like whatever, do whatever you like. But back then when I was younger, they were very strict with me because I was kind of problematic. I was the unhinged child who wants to try everything and do everything questionable. Now that I think about it, it's really hard to parent me. So yeah, my parents were really strict back then, and I took this huge bag full of manga back to my house just to binge on them, because back then I don't really have much access to the internet. We do have internet, I'm not that old, it's just that my mom restricts my internet time, so I only have 1 to 2 hours a day in front of the computer. I couldn't exactly use my tiny phone to browse through anything, so I use most of my time to read manga, and I love reading manga so much. I am such a huge weeb, and having that huge bag of BL manga was so mind-blowing to me. I couldn't exactly remember the titles because they were pretty old words, but I am pretty sure Junjo Romantica was a part of that stash. Some of them are just straight up vanilla BL, it's just very sweet romantic boys love stories. Some of them are pretty extreme. They are just straight up yaoi, straight up corn. So I took that huge stash back home. I don't even know if my mom actually gone through the bag, because I'm pretty sure she used to check my stuff, my drawers, my bags, to see if I have any questionable things. I still don't think that it is the right thing to do towards your teenage child, but I understand her concerns. So I think she's a little bit too paranoid, but at that time, if she did gone through that bag, I'm not even sure why she haven't bring up anything yet. I guess it's because she rather have me stay at home reading books than seeing boys. But one thing though, my parents don't really encourage me reading 爱情小说, which is romance novels between straight couples. They literally told me to stop reading because it is not healthy for me. I'm too young for romance, yada yada yada. But for some reason, they just don't question me reading BL. So that's kind of weird, right? I did read some GL as well. The one that I love the most, even until today, is 他们的故事. Check it out. The artwork is so beautiful. I read both BL and GL, but BL is definitely my main interest. So as time goes on, as I grew into an adult, I just keep reading a lot of Japanese BL manga because that's where the main source are, right? There's just so many BL mangas on the internet, and the moment scans became a thing, I used to have a tablet. I will literally lie on the couch the whole day just binging through BL mangas one after the other. A lot of people might think that it is a waste of time, but to me personally, I think it's really important for us to question, how do I feel before, during, and after I consume certain types of media. I'm an artist, so it gives me a lot of inspiration to create and draw, to improve my artworks, because whenever I look at all of these beautiful artworks, it inspires me to be a better artist myself. But I sort of use it as a copium too, which can be unhealthy, but at that time, it definitely prevented me from doing things that are even worse, right? I used to be really hateful towards myself. I used to SH. So I think that instead of doing harmful things to myself, reading manga is definitely a way better thing to do. I can appreciate smutty BL manga as a form of art, even though I know that it's corn. I know that it might be unhealthy psychologically, but I still think that it definitely did make me feel like I want to draw. I really like drawing beautiful looking guys. I like drawing girls too, don't get me wrong, but my strength and my interest is drawing beautiful boys. So yeah, I might sound like a creepy old woman, but to be honest, that's my passion. Consuming all of those media definitely did inspire me, and I know it's questionable, but it does bring benefit to me. You have to know what brings you joy in life, right? Instead of just following this 10 step that whatever influencer or motivational guru on the internet tells you to do. I think everyone is just so different. As long as you're not damaging yourself, that's the most important thing. So yeah, this is how BL inspires me as an artist. Debate all you want, but this is my personal opinion. So time skip, I remember at one point the Korean BL manhwa became so popular. At that time, I think it was Killing Stalking and Painter of the Night. Now, Killing Stalking is another genre on its own. It's not romantic. In fact, I don't think it should be categorized under your typical BL because I think it is more of a horror or thriller. I personally did read Killing Stalking and Painter of the Night. I did not finish Killing Stalking because it's a little bit too dark for my liking, but I did finish Painter of the Night, and I is it bad for me to say that I kind of like it? I like the drawing. The drawing is just so beautiful, and I think you shouldn't be comparing fictional works with people in real life because they are fictional. They are fictional for a reason. They're there for you to enjoy. So that's how I got introduced to the whole BL manhwa world, and now there's just so many BL manhwas on the market. I even watched Semantic Error, the BL drama. I think it's really cute. I really like it. It's a series from a light novel. They have manhwa for it as well. The actors have really good chemistry. I think it's really cute, so I highly recommend you to check it out. Let me know if you're interested to talk about BL manhwa because I can definitely refresh my memory and make a whole list about the BL manhwas that I read and talk about it. I might do that in my second channel though because I think that channel is more freeform. I talk about very random entertainment stuff. In this channel, I want to keep it more precise, if that makes any sense. Time skip again. I came to this point of my life where I started questioning whether BL is something that's worth spending my time on, because I happen to see a lot of people on the internet talking about how unhealthy corn is for your personal development. It made me feel really conflicted because as an artist, I like drawing things that are pretty rated. So whenever I restrict myself from creating that type of artworks that I personally like, I feel like I am putting myself in a cage, if that makes any sense. I feel like I have to constantly police myself. In fact, My dad once told me that my drawings are a little bit too dark. I should be drawing things that are more lighthearted, that public will accept better. But it doesn't make me that happy, to be honest. Drawing things that are beautiful are definitely good for the eyes, but I don't feel like I'm being true to myself. The moment I stop allowing myself to be creative based on what I personally like, it made me feel like there's no purpose to be an artist anymore. In fact, there's just so many AI art out there. I feel like my artworks are just not up to par. I don't like what I draw anymore. And the more I stray out from consuming the type of media that I like, the more I fell out of love with art. I do get comments from people in real life telling me that I know what kind of person you are based on what you post on Instagram. I'm like, no, you don't. I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly changing. You might know me today, but I might be a different person tomorrow. So judging an artist based on their art, some people do that, but I just find it funny and it really baffles me. But it still made me feel a little bit embarrassed about myself. And I gone through this whole identity crisis. I don't want to be so unhinged on the internet. I have so many negative thoughts about myself. I feel like everything I do is just so performative. I feel like I have to pretend to be who I am not. In the society, yes, we do have to play certain roles. We have to mask ourselves sometimes, especially in different occasions and situations. But to be doing that on the creative end is really restricting, and I really don't like it. I feel like art is a space for me to be creative. I should be allowed to draw, create whatever I want. And to rob that away from myself, I feel so pointless. I feel so tired. I feel so exhausted, and I went through spiraling downward. There are a lot of reasons why I felt down at that time, but definitely robbing myself away from my creative freedom is one of it. Now that I talked so much, what changed? What allowed me to hop back onto reading BL again? What made me feel less embarrassed about reading stories that I'm interested in again? To be honest, it's all thanks to Danmei. The moment I got introduced to Danmei, I was like, wow, this is a whole new world. I already have a video talking about how I got exposed to Danmei, so I'm gonna link that up here. In today's video, I am going to sort of make a follow-up video regarding Danmei. As I mentioned, I am going to make a review video regarding 二哈和他的白毛师尊. I had been procrastinating, to be honest. I just finished reading the extras, the new released extras where Moran became a cat. I binge read 二哈 every single day because I love it so much. I'm not gonna lie, it's not for everyone, but I'm going to vouch for it. It is one of the most romantic stories that I had ever read. I really like Ropal's writing style. I think her writing style is just really hilarious, and I love how descriptive she is. She uses a lot of metaphors to describe situations, peoples, and things. I love her writing style, so I think that's one of the reasons that got me captivated, and her story, her plots are just very intriguing. Even the twists are like so twisty. I really like Erha. If you haven't read it, just go and check it out. It's called The Husky and His White Cat Shizhen in English. They have the English version published by Seven Seas, so check that out if you cannot read Mandarin. I read the Mandarin version. I love Chuaning so much. I can definitely make a whole video talking about how much I like Chuaning. I cried so much reading this story. Sometimes when I feel numb, I will literally revisit certain chapters just to feel a little bit of something, whether it's the fluffy romance part or the angsty part. Anhedonia is a thing, right? Sometimes I just don't feel anything at all. I will revisit certain chapters just to feel something. It is just so well written and I love it so much. I wouldn't change anything for the ending. I think it is a very well-rounded novel, so if you haven't checked it, go check it out. It's just so good, and I really hope that within this lifetime they will release the drama someday. I don't know, are they gonna release it someday? Fans had been waiting for years and years, but let's just hope that they release How You Sing someday. So yeah. After reading Erha, I feel like there's just this huge gap, huge hole in my heart. I wasn't ready to part away from this universe. Until one day when I was researching on what to read next after finishing Erha, apparently a lot of people recommended Huang Jintai or Golden Terrace because it has minimal angst, it will heal your heart, it is wholesome, it is romantic. So I figure, why not read that, right? Because my intention was to read Yu Wu after I finish Erha, but I don't think that is a wise choice because if you don't know, Yu Wu is way more angstier than Erha. So imagine jumping from one angsty story to another more angsty one. I don't think I can survive. I don't want to be crying every single day. So I figured that why not just try reading something that's more lighthearted. So I remember I came across Golden Terrace at the bookstore, but at that time, because the cover is so subtle, I have no idea that it is a Danmei xiaoshuo. I revisited the bookstore again just to pick it up because now I know what it is and I got it. Just look at how the cover looks like. I wrap it up just to protect it. I really treasure my books. So look at this and tell me which part of it looks like Danmei xiaoshuo. Apart from these two tiny figures here, tell me which part of this book looks like a Danmei xiaoshuo. Look at how subtle the cover is. In fact, the second book is literally like a historical war novel. Like look at the back. Look at this. Right, tell me which part of it looks like a Danmei xiaoshuo. If you didn't read the synopsis, you wouldn't have any idea that the couple is gay. Golden Terrace is sort of like a very healing novel, even though it has politics in it. It has a little tiny bit of angst in it, but it's just that tiny bit, and you will feel so healed after finish reading it. The politics are not too complicated, especially if you are someone that had watched a lot of Chinese historical drama. It's basically that typical level of politics, so bearable. It's not too much. It's not like 将进酒. I'm gonna talk about that in a while. I read this in the English version because I couldn't find the Chinese version and I don't like reading on screen. I'm not gonna lie, as a Chinese reader, I always find translated works kind of funny, and certain words cannot be translated to English, but the translators always manage to describe the situations in a very understandable way. So I think they did a really great job. It's really short. There's only 2 books. I wish they have more. The last chapter of the extras definitely did make me bawl my eyes out. It is a little bit angsty, but it's a really bittersweet and really wholesome one. It's not about the main couple. There's actually another couple which don't really get much showtime in the entire novel, but I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Just go check it out. It's really worth your time. It's very beautifully written. After finishing Golden Terrace, I took a break from reading and I jumped into drama. At that time, I was watching Shan He Ling, which is Word of Honor. The drama that everyone is so hyped about. I gave myself some time to get into it because I'm not gonna lie, this CG is so bad. I know it's a pretty low budget film, but it has a lot of great reviews. The only reason why I did not watch The Untamed is because of the CG. I couldn't stomach it. I only watched 5 episodes. I might watch The Untamed someday, but I jumped into Word of Honor because there's just so many good reviews about it. I heard that it is very different from Tian Ya Ke, the novel. There's a lot of things that are changed, but it still fits pretty well and people love it, even the original fans of the novel. I really like it. I watched so many YouTube videos breaking down the poems and the dubbing. There's a lot of videos on YouTube talking about that. I feel like this video is getting a little bit too long. It's sort of like a live video. I'm not even sure if people are still watching. If you are still watching up to this point, like, thank you so much. I'm not gonna dive too deep into Shan He Ling. I think there's already a lot of videos on YouTube talking about it. My favorite character is definitely the Scorpion King. I like the actor's dubbing. Like, he dubs his own voice. He's a voice actor apparently. He and his questionable relationship with his yifu. There's just something about priest with her yifu story. Thinking about Sha Po Lang. After I finished watching Word of Honor, I decided that it's time for me to be reading 将进酒. I have the novel sitting on my shelf for quite some time, but I had been procrastinating because I know that it requires a lot of brain power. I had been listening to the audio drama. You should be reading the novel before listening to the audio drama because it's really confusing. The politics is just so confusing. they have a whole map for it. You have to look at the map to understand where are all of these things going on. You know, it's very political, even though the romance is it's really spicy. So this is my 强奸小小说. This is the Taiwanese edition. I took the sleeves out. So this is how it looks like on the inside. It's so beautiful. I'm still currently at the front chapters. Like, this is how much I had gone through. How little actually. The covers for the novel is just so beautiful. Like, look at this. I have an unboxing video made, so if you're interested you can check that out. Look at how beautiful it looks. There's no pictures in it like the 7 Seas edition, but I prefer reading the original works in Mandarin. These are in traditional Chinese, which is uncensored, because as you know that China doesn't allow certain things to be published, so I have to get the Taiwanese version instead, and to be reading in traditional Chinese is a little bit of a pain, but I can still manage. There's dictionary. Funny enough, sometimes I even go to my dad to ask him how to read certain words, and I have no idea if he knows what I'm actually reading. I think he pretty much thinks that I'm reading straight romance couple stories, because he did gone through the letters, which is part of the merge from this novel set. There's this letter written by Xiao Chiye to Shen Zhechuan, and my dad actually read the letter and he was like, oh, this is written to his wife. I was like, yeah, to his wife. I mean, he's not wrong, right? Well, yeah, it is what it is. And because I am an emotional masochist, while I am reading 强奸酒, I got myself the censored version. Just think about it, the censored version. It's extremely angsty, and imagine minus the romance, minus the spiciness, pure angst. I have no idea why I even got it, because I already have the English 7 Seas version. In fact, I haven't even finished reading the 3rd book. Look at how angsty the cover looks, right? The 4th book is coming out. I haven't finished reading this because while I was going through this halfway, my Erha 小说 arrived, and I just got so focused onto Erha, and by the time I finished Erha, like I mentioned in the beginning, it's not a great idea to be reading Yuo right after you finish Erha, because this is so much more angstier. I remember crying so much when I was reading this. Maybe I might get the Erha censored one as well, because the cover looks so pretty and they have a lot of very beautiful merch. They have Moran and Chuaning on the cover. 海棠微雨共鬼图, they changed the title. Same goes to Yuo. They changed the title for Yuo as well. This is 风波吞天同正路. Let me show you how the covers look like. It's just some very pretty Chinese painting sort of artworks. Yeah, this is just pretty much how the covers look like. Very safe to be reading in public. It's pretty much dangai, sort of like a bromance, I guess. Like, not much of a guy-on-guy action, but still stories about pretty boys that really love each other platonically. I'm losing voice. I think that's it for today. I have been babbling so much, and I think this video is just everywhere because, as you can see, I am letting off steam because I don't have any friends that are interested in things like that. I am so passionate and I just want to let everything out, share them with you girls, with you guys, whoever that's watching this video. And if you enjoy listening to me talk, let me know at the comments section. I really hope that you find this entertaining. It might be a little bit boring and draggy, but I still really hope that I cheer your day somehow. After filming this video, I still have to film for my second channel because I already got myself dressed up, so I don't want to put this outfit to waste. Might as well, right? I'm running out of voice. So let me know if you enjoy watching this, or if there are anything else you want to share with me, let me know at the comments section down below. I always enjoy reading your comments. I'll talk to you in my next video. Thank you so much for your time. Bye! Take care!